We're happy to welcome Jessica Milan Patterson back to the show, the chair of the California Republican Party, which, on the surface, Jessica, people would say, that's a tough job. We know the registrations, so many more Democrats, a lot of decline to state, but I got to believe, and I know you have some stats on this, that things are changing, especially locally here. Now we have the questions about Biden being with it enough for the big job, and Gavin Newsom getting out of the state. Apparently he's solved all the problems in the state Newsom has, so he can be out campaigning wholeheartedly for Biden. It's amazing.
Well, it has been a heavy lift and an uphill battle for us here in California, but there are some very, very bright spots on the horizon for us. We've had 3 consecutive reports from the Secretary of State where Republicans have out-registered the Democrats. So since October of last year, California Republicans have picked up 160,000 new registrations. In that same time period, California Democrats have lost 106,000, and California declined to states or no party preference, they have lost 115,000. So, we've done a lot of work. Since I was elected in February 2019, we've actually registered over 700,000 new Republicans, and that's the reason we've been able to play so well, pick up seats over the last 2 cycles, and we're not letting any of that hold us back for 2024.
One of the things Gavin Newsom probably would rather not talk about is the fact that, once again, the gas tax went up this week on Monday, on July 1st. You have that. You have his weird about-face right before yesterday's Independence holiday. Just he and the Democrats were going to go up against the opportunity for the people to vote to repeal the horrible Prop 47 10 years after that was jammed through with creative wording, giving us our crime problems. All of a sudden, he's like, I'm not going to be behind that now, which I would guess is a way to make it look better for him if Joe Biden pulls a rhetorical hamstring again and is out. But Newsom doesn't want to talk about his record.
Listen, Mark, it is very, very difficult to run a floor drill at the national convention and have a proposition on the ballot that you're out campaigning for. He has made it very clear with his shadow presidential campaign that he has been running for quite some time. I've been talking about this since June of last year. He did his red state tour. He has done ads in other states. He has done his international tour where he visited places like China and the Vatican, trying desperately to look presidential. But you are absolutely right. You need to look no further than his record here in California, whether it is the homeless crisis, the housing crisis, our financial situation, more people leaving our state than are coming into our state, so much so that we lost a congressional seat, the crime problem that we have here, the highest gas prices and gas taxes in the entire nation. No one is looking to California and saying, Governor Gavin Newsom is doing such a great job with his state, we should take this national. You can't go from a $100 billion surplus to a $50 billion deficit in 2 years, and people think that you manage the state well.
Now, of course, one of the more unique things in California politics is, and this goes back, as you know, to historically when Jerry Brown, version 1.0, was governor, was busy running for president and doing it even more so. The legislature, which then had more Republicans in it, in the Assembly and State Senate, changed the rules, so it's not like when the president goes anywhere, the presidency still goes with the president. So when Gavin Newsom's out of the state, the lieutenant governor, Eleni Kusnov, I sound like Biden, that one, is the acting governor. So I guess that's good, although she wants to be governor too, and is maybe even more left than Newsom is. So what about that? What about crises that can come up when the governor's out following his own or tilting at presidential windmills?
Well, my understanding is that the lieutenant governor is out of the state as well.
So then you're in charge. Who's in charge?
The pro tem is actually in charge right now. And you're absolutely right. I mean, not only does this guy constantly abdicate his responsibility and governing our state. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful when he's gone. I mean, he can't mess things up, but he has a responsibility to the people that elected him. And he is constantly leaving our state to go off on this, whirlwind tour, and is constantly, just putting aside his responsibility of being the governor. And I think a lot of people have seen that. I think they're sick and tired of it. And I don't think they want to give him a promotion to to the White House and the leader of the free world.
How concerned are you that with the, pretty much all mail-in ballots, with some in-person voting locations, but here we are 4 months away from Election Day. It's hard to believe that it's going that quickly. And again, Newsom's in for a while. He's supposedly committed to being governor, although we're hearing he's moving his home back to Marin County, be closer to where some of the kids are going to school or what have you, wink, wink. But pretty much done with Sacramento. And where does this go in terms of what could unfold? What the concerns are about election integrity, for one thing?
I have a great deal of confidence in our elections here in California, and that's because we have done election integrity well before it was a popular term. In 2020, we had about 60% of all ballots being watched by lawyers, staff, and volunteers. Once people got interested in election integrity, we now have 93.5% of all ballots in California being watched by lawyers, staff, and volunteer. We have an election integrity chair for every single county in our state. We have a lawyer assigned to every single county in our state. We have trained thousands of poll watchers. We have also helped people become poll workers and get jobs within the county clerk's offices all around our state. Listen, you don't win seats like we did with Mike Garcia in 2020 by 333 votes, or like John Duarte in 2022 by 560 votes, or Assemblyman Greg Wallace in Palm Springs, where we won that seat by 85 votes. Those are the places where if bad stuff was happening, that would be the perfect place for it to happen. That's right, and that's why the vote needs to be out there. Get early. You got to play like the other side does in terms of early voting, and beware the ballot harvesting, and just play the game with integrity, as well as the other side does. That's the GOP view should be that, but and I know that's what you're working on. Jessica Millan Patterson, chair of the Republican Party in California. Thanks for the update. Appreciate it. Stay safe.